Yeah, all of you have the material with you, right? Chalo, let's start. First topic, National Disaster Management Plan. It was in news last month. Why? Center came up with the National Disaster Management Plan the first time when the central government has formulated a national level plan. NDMA 2005, National Disaster Management Act, very important act, part of your main syllabus. It has 3-tier structure. It asks for a 3-tier structure to be established. NDMA at the central level, State Disaster Management Authority at state level, and district level पे 3-tier structure है. All states, all districts are required under NDMA to have a disaster management plan. Most of the states and districts had formulated. There was no central plan as such till now. Now we have the central plan for the first time. ठीक है? Important aspects of this plan. Important aspects. Please remember one thing in this disaster management cycle में. This will come handy for mains. PMPRRR. ये एक framework जो है which is utilized most of the times. Prevention, mitigation, preparedness, response, rescue, response, rehabilitation. First P is for prevention, M for mitigation, next P is for preparedness, then RRR framework, ये आपने कई बार सुना होगा. Somebody calls it rescue, rehabilitate, ठीक है? R is for rescue, next R is for relief, next is for rehabilitate. This framework, it will be handy for your mains part. इसमें pre में पूछ सकते हैं arrange the following orders of disaster management plan and chronological order in which one should progress. इस टाइप से पूछ सकते हैं. Other important aspects of this NDMA, this disaster management plan, it is based on Sendai framework. Sendai framework, if you had attended the last open session, we discussed it. Sendai framework. It is a successor to Hyogo framework. Earlier we had Hyogo framework. Hyogo. It was operational from 2005 to 2015. Now we have Sendai framework. Sendai, इसका successor है Sendai framework. From 2015 to 2030. What is the Sendai framework? It is a disaster risk reduction plan. It has broad targets. It has certain targets, specific targets. Sendai framework. It has specific targets. However, it is voluntary, not binding. There are targets, but the targets are non-binding. So our National Disaster Management Plan, it incorporates this Sendai framework. It is incorporating the broad aspects of Sendai framework. Certain aspects like reduce the number of people under disaster risk by 1/2 by 2030. ऐसे इस टाइप से targets हैं Sendai framework में. ठीक है? So we have incorporated those targets. However, the targets in this plan, they are not specific. The targets in Sendai framework are very specific. Targets in our plan, they are not specific. So it is mostly a statement of intent. Plan है plan, a statement of intent, not very specific in nature. Specific काम किसका है? District level का और state level का. Center का काम क्या है? एक policy direction देना. ठीक है? Other important aspect of this National Disaster Management Plan, there is one new aspect is regarding media regulation. I hope all of you know what happened during Nepal earthquake. Media was severely criticized for its role. So ethical guidelines for media have been laid down. ये लिखा है, you can underline this. Ethical guidelines for media have been laid down. ठीक है? बाकी all this is all regular stuff, early warning, information dissemination, medical care, relief, rescue, rehabilitate. Okay? This all should be part of it. What will fetch you marks is all those nuances like media, Sendai, ये सब चीज़ें ध्यान रखना. Fine. Okay, next. Gyps vulture conservation. Extremely important. If you look at previous year papers, there are certain questions regarding identify the critically endangered species. Certainly there is one or two questions regarding any critically, if they are not asking you to identify critically endangered species, they'll ask you one or two questions regarding some critically endangered species or some national park where that critically endangered species is living. Vulture has been in news prominently since past 3 or 4 years. They asked a question on diclofenac, I think last year or last year. This time also they can ask because of this Gyps vulture program. Very important 4 varieties of vulture are given. Please remember all these 4 and remember which is not critically endangered. Himalayan griffon, second number पे दिए हुई है ना. Himalayan griffon, not critically endangered. ठीक है. Gyps is a family. ये जो Gyps vulture है, Gyps is a family. It consists of I think 7 or 8 different vultures. Himalayan griffon is not part of Gyps family. Gyps family is endangered, critically endangered. Indian vulture, it is part of that Gyps family. Indian vulture एक specific type की vulture है. Indian vulture is part of that Gyps family. It is critically endangered. Whereas Himalayan griffon, another vulture, not part of Gyps family, not critically endangered but near threatened. ठीक है? Points to remember. ये सब important point है. Population of vulture, why has that declined? Why has it declined? Because of diclofenac. What does diclofenac do? Huh? नहीं, veterinary disease. Okay. Diclofenac is used for veterinary diseases. Okay. What does diclofenac do in vultures? Kidney failure, and one important point is missing here, egg hatching. ये यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा है इसमें, आप लिख लीजिए चाहे तो. Egg hatching, it prevents hatching of eggs. How? जो egg की casing होती है ना कैल्शियम वाली, it does not allow that to solidify. It melts away. इस टाइप से करता है. Very important point mentioned here, replacement for diclofenac. Please underline this, meloxicam. Very important, replacement for diclofenac. Jatayu Conservation Center located at Pinjore. Where is Pinjore? पंचकुला में यार, पंचकुला, पिंजौर, पंचकुला. ये ऐसे चंडीगढ़ है, चंडीगढ़ के एक साइड मोहाली है पंजाब में, और इधर पंचकुला है हरियाणा में. पिंजौर इज इन हरियाणा. ठीक है. Location of this Bir Shikargarh Wildlife Sanctuary. Other important concept, there was this concept last year of vulture restaurants. Vulture restaurants क्या होते हैं? सुना है vulture restaurants? Open spaces for vultures to come and feed on decaying animals, carcasses. ठीक है, vulture restaurant concept है. हरियाणा में काफ़ी जगह है, साउथ में काफ़ी जगह है, महाराष्ट्र में है. रेस्टोरेंट, चलो लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. ट्रांसबाउंड्री मानस कंजर्वेशन एरिया. मानस नेशनल पार्क, वेयर इज इट? असम में कहाँ? वेयर इन असम? नॉर्दर्न पार्ट, नॉट नॉर्दर्न असम. it is south of Bhutan. इस टाइप से नॉर्थ ईस्ट है ना यार, यहाँ पे है इस जगह ऐसे आसाम है. दिस रीजन, व्हाट इज दिस रीजन ऑल्सो कॉल्ड? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन यार. अरे चिकन नेक ठीक है, और बाकी क्या है? हाँ, बोडोलैंड रीजन है ये वाला यार. बोडोलैंड रीजन extremely important from your strategic angle. Kokrajhar rights were there in Kokrajhar 2 or 3 years back. ठीक है. मानस नेशनल पार्क शेयर्ड बिटवीन इंडिया एंड भूटान. यहाँ पे है मानस नेशनल पार्क. 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं यहाँ पे. दे कंप्राइज बोडोलैंड. कोकराझार एंड आई एम फॉरगेटिंग द नेम ऑफ द बोनगाईगांव एंड ऑल दिस. ठीक है. Now this transboundary Manas conservation area, why is this important? Conservation of tiger. इसमें tiger है. Okay. What is the prominent reason for decline of any species? Decline in number of any species? Habitat destruction, habitat fragmentation. That is the major reason for decline in population of any species. Habitat destruction. ठीक है. बाकी सब आपको पता ही है, पोचिंग, इलीगल हंटिंग वगैरह. क्लाइमेट चेंज इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. एक्सटिंक्शन ऑफ कीस्टोन स्पीशीज, अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट रीजन फॉर डिक्लाइन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. कीस्टोन स्पीशीज एक ऐसी स्पीशीज जिसके ऊपर काफ़ी सारी स्पीशीज डिपेंडेंट है. दैट इज कीस्टोन स्पीशीज. Any species which is critical to survival of any ecosystem, that is keystone. For example, tree in a tree ecosystem. अगर tree नहीं रहेगा तो all those dependent on that tree will not survive. Fine. Keystone species. क्या क्या लिखा आपने? What are the reasons for decline of population? Habitat fragmentation, keystone, climate change, and बाकी सब आप लिख लेना. पोचिंग, हंटिंग. This Manas conservation area. See, in order to arrest the decline of tiger species, we came up with this concept of tiger corridors. This is Pench. पेंच कहाँ पे लोकेटेड है? पेंच एमपी में किस जगह? साउथ टुवर्ड्स महाराष्ट्र. पेंच वर्धा वैली में, नागपुर के ऊपर पेंच यहाँ पे लोकेटेड है. वेयर इज कान्हा लोकेटेड? एमपी. वेयर इज बंधवगढ़ लोकेटेड? एमपी. So all these national parks, they are connected through tiger corridors. Pench, Kanha, Bandhavgarh, all these are connected through tiger corridors. So corridors facilitate movement of tigers. They are not exactly as dense as these national parks, not as big in area as those national parks, but they are just एक तरीके से road मान लो, road. There is a way on which the tiger can travel safely. So because of these corridors, it has been professed that we are witnessing an increase in population, or we are arresting the decline of population. Because of these corridors, these habitats are no longer fragmented. Tigers can freely move amongst these. So Manas conservation area, transboundary Manas conservation area, this is another successful example. This Manas transboundary area, this is another successful example of conserving a species through development of corridors. ठीक है. Okay, let's come next. New model to study urban heat islands. Urban heat islands, what are these? क्या होता है urban heat islands? हाँ? What is meant by urban heat islands concept? Simply where urban area experiences more heat than the surrounding areas. ठीक है, ये अर्बन हीट आइलैंड का कंसेप्ट है. रीजन फॉर अर्बन हीट आइलैंड, व्हाई इज देयर, चलो इफ आई गिव यू अ क्वेश्चन, urban areas, which of the following is correct? Urban areas receive more solar incidence than the surrounding areas, less than the surrounding areas, or equal to the surrounding areas? हाँ, बताओ क्या आंसर है इसका. अर्बन एरियाज रिसीव मोर, लेस और इक्वल इंसुलेशन दैन दी सराउंडिंग एरियाज. ये अर्बन एरिया है बीच में और ये इसके आजू बाजू वाला रूरल एरिया है. The answer is they'll receive less incidence of less solar incidence or less sunlight incidence. Urban areas receive less amount of sunlight. Then why is there this urban heat island concept? जब कम सनलाइट आ रही है तो पहले बताओ why less? Why less? No यार, सनलाइट तो देखो आइडियल आंसर में इफ यू आर नॉट थिंकिंग वेरी मच देन द आंसर शुड हैव बीन इक्वल. बिल्कुल सही, तो कहीं पे भी हो सनलाइट तो सब जगह इक्वली पड़ रही है. बट अर्बन एरियाज आर रिसीविंग लेस. वाई? दैट मीन्स देयर इज समथिंग विच इज रिफ्लेक्टिंग बैक द सनलाइट. सी अर्बन एरिया, सुन लो यार, अर्बन एरियाज as you know more pollution means more aerosols. More pollution means more aerosols in the atmosphere. What do aerosols do? Aerosols facilitate cloud formation. Clouds. Aerosols provide condensation nuclei. They give surface on which condensation can take place. What is a cloud? Cloud is just a condensation phenomena. ठीक है ना? Aerosols provide condensation surfaces or condensation nuclei. Since concentration of aerosols is more over urban areas because of pollution, there is more cloud formation. Over urban areas, there is more cloud formation. And I hope you know clouds have maximum albedo. Value of albedo of clouds is maximum. Albedo क्या होता है? Reflection. Sunlight is falling here and about 90% gets reflected, whatever falls on the cloud. ठीक है? That is why incidence of sunlight on the urban areas is less. चलो ये बात clear हो गई? Now, then why this urban heat island? Why? Because of heat trapped. Trapping of heat. Whatever heat is incident in urban areas, it is trapped here. Why? Dark colored roads, asphalt heats up. Any dark color heats up. Okay? There is very less reflection from the ground. Everything is absorbed here in urban areas. That is why we have this phenomenon of urban heat island. You look at the roads, you look at top of buildings, they are also made of asphalt most of the time or dark color. Okay? Because of this, heat gets trapped here. Number one. Number two, one is trapping of heat. Another important reason is, since there is more cloud cover here, whatever heat is reflected, it gets reflected back. Whatever heat is reflected from the ground or from the buildings, it gets reflected back from the clouds. ठीक है? Therefore, trapping of heat है, but because of different phenomena this time. Fine? Clear है? अभी तक कोई doubt इसमें? Urban heat island में? Questions that can be asked. See, UPSC has asked this in mains. Probably they can ask this in prelims also. Questions that can be asked. During what time of the day is temperature difference between urban and rural areas maximum? During what time of the day is the temperature between urban areas and the surrounding rural areas maximum? Temperature difference maximum कब होता है? It's during the night. लिख लो. Temperature difference. Temperature difference is maximum during the night. See, it's like this. During the daytime, maximum temperatures reached in the urban areas and rural areas are almost the same. But during night time, there is more difference. During night time, there is more difference. Therefore, temperature difference is more during night. इसी ग्राफ को देख के again, next question. Where is the diurnal range of temperature more? Rural areas or urban areas? Diurnal range. Diurnal means daily range. Where is the daily range of temperature more? Urban or rural? इस ग्राफ को देख के बताओ यार, very simple. Rural maximum and minimum in graph is more for rural. Urban में इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. ठीक है? Diurnal range is more in case of rural. इसका y भी बता देते हैं. Why is this temperature difference more here and not here? Diurnal range means difference between maximum and minimum temperature during a day. During one day. एक दिन में maximum temperature rural areas में नापा गया, मान लो 35 degrees. Urban areas में this was slightly above say 36 degrees. रात में rural में minimum नापा गया say 25 degrees. This is substantially more than this. This was say something about 28 degrees. डिफरेंस ज़्यादा कहाँ है? इसमें डिफरेंस कितना है? 8 डिग्रीज का डिफरेंस है. इसमें डिफरेंस कितना है? 10 डिग्री का डिफरेंस है. तो डायगोनल रेंज इज मोर इन केस ऑफ रूरल एरियाज. रेंज. Why is diurnal range or why are minimum temperatures lesser in case of rural areas than urban areas? Have you heard of the concept of inversion? Inversion का concept सुना है ना? Inversion कब होता है? When there is rapid loss of heat from the ground. See, we have to this is an observation. ये एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है कि रूरल एरियाज में मिनिमम टेम्परेचर कम है. अब हमें इस ऑब्जर्वेशन को जस्टिफाई करना है. हाउ डू वी जस्टिफाई दिस? इन रूरल एरियाज सिंस देर इज लेस क्लाउड कवर. इन्वर्जन का कंसेप्ट पढ़ा था ना. व्हेन डज द ग्राउंड लूज हीट एट द फास्टर रेट? When does ground lose heat at faster rate? When there is no cloud cover above. On clear cold nights, the ground will leave heat very fast, rapidly. Therefore, the layer of air which is in contact with the ground will cool down very fast. अरे रात में क्या होता है? ये clouds back reflect कर रहे थे light को. अगर ये cloud नहीं है तो there is nothing which is reflecting the light back or heat back. Therefore, whatever heat is being emitted, it is going to outer space. Therefore, quickly temperature will drop. If there was cloud, this heat would have been reflected back. Since there is no cloud, the temperature will drop very quickly. Since there is no cloud or less amount of cloud in rural areas, the temperature will drop quickly. Therefore, the minimum temperatures in rural areas are less as compared to urban areas. Fine? Okay. Any doubt in this urban heat island concept? कोई डाउट? कोई डाउट हो तो पूछ लो, दोबारा से बता देंगे, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है यार. कोई एनी डाउट यू हैव? व्हाई इज दिस फिनोमिना? क्वेश्चंस दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड. Which one? डायगोनल रेंज ज़्यादा कहाँ होगी? डायगोनल रेंज का मतलब क्या है? मिनिमम टेम्परेचर्स इन रूरल एरिया शुड बी लेस एज कम्पेयर टू अर्बन एरियाज. हमें इस फिनोमेना को एक्सप्लेन करना है कि रूरल एरियाज में ये मिनिमम कम क्यों है एज कम्पेयर टू अर्बन एरियाज. हाउ डू वी एक्सप्लेन दिस? मिनिमम टेम्परेचर वुड बी ऑब्जर्व when the air near ground cools rapidly. Minimum temperatures would be observed only then. What facilitates rapid cooling? Cloudless nights. Cloudless nights facilitate rapid cooling. Since the amount of cloud in rural areas is less as compared to urban areas, therefore nights would be colder here. Can we reduce its effect? हाँ बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. ग्रीन बेल्ट्स लगाओ अर्बन एरियाज में जगह जगह. आई एम नॉट अवेयर ऑफ एनीथिंग. हाँ समर इज देयर, इट मॉनिटर्स एयरसॉल. हाँ तो ठीक है, दैट मे बी रिलेटेड टू अर्बन. यू कैन स्ट्रेच इट टू रिलेटेड टू अर्बन हीट आइलैंड. एज सच आई डोंट थिंक सो देयर इज एनी प्रोग्राम. ग्रीनरी वाले प्रोग्राम्स हैं, ब्यूटिफिकेशन ऑफ अर्बन एरियाज, प्लांटेशन ऑफ ट्रीज अलॉन्ग नेशनल हाईवे पॉलिसी. हाँ ठीक है, एयर पॉल्यूशन मॉनिटरिंग प्रोग्राम्स, ऑल दैट विल सर्टेनली लीड टू रिडक्शन इन मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर्स इन अर्बन एरियाज. एज सच देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक प्रोग्राम विच एम्स एट दिस अर्बन हीट आइलैंड. ठीक है, अब इसमें टॉपिक का नाम तो है न्यू मॉडल टू स्टडी अर्बन हीट आइलैंड, बट द मॉडल इज नॉट गिवन, सो वील ऑल्सो स्किप द मॉडल. टॉपिक का नाम तो न्यू मॉडल है, अब हमें पता नहीं है न्यू मॉडल क्या है. वैसे भी इंडिया का नहीं है जो न्यू मॉडल है, इट इज़ फ्रॉम अबू धाबी. ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. नेक्स्ट, ड्राफ्ट वेटलैंड्स कंजर्वेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट रूल्स. If you have read these rules, there is a more chance of you getting the question on wetlands wrong. If you have not read these rules, probably you will get the answer right. Since it is mentioned that we should certainly study this. See, currently what is the procedure of notification of any wetland? We have this body, ye underline kar lo, Central Wetlands Regulatory Authority. Central Wetlands Regulatory Authority, currently. This is the body which identifies a particular wetland. The state government notifies it. The state government will notify it. This body, this also has so much powers to notify a particular wetland. If it finds that a particular wetland is important, biodiversity is important, it is degrading fast, it can also notify that particular region as a wetland. This body. ये जो ड्राफ्ट रूल्स हैं, दे डू अवे विद दिस बॉडी. दे आर गिविंग द पावर टू स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ओनली. State government will have the power to notify any area as wetland. Now, since state governments were apprehensive of notification earlier also, now since they have absolute power, they will not notify it. Okay, why will they not notify, and why were they not notifying? Because notification of any protected area comes with its ifs and buts. Okay? There are certain restrictions which are placed when you notify area as wetland, wildlife sanctuary, national park. वो सब पढ़ लेना डिफरेंसेस क्या हैं यार. वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी, नेशनल पार्क में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है वो. ठीक है, वेटलैंड के साथ भी कुछ ऐसा ही है. सर्टेन रेस्ट्रिक्शंस कम है, कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं कर सकते, यू कैन नॉट रिक्लेम द लैंड फॉर एग्रीकल्चर. ठीक है, ऑल दोज रेस्ट्रिक्शन कम इन टू प्ले दैट रिक्वायर रिसोर्सेज. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स डू नॉट हैव रिसोर्सेज फॉर दिस and therefore they will not notify any more new wetlands. Fine. Question that can be asked can be simply like this: which is the body which has the power to notify wetlands? So if you have read the rules, you will mark state governments, these draft rules. If you have not read, then you will probably mark this National Wetland Conservation Authority, Central Wetland Regulatory Authority. ठीक है. What is Montreux's Accord or record? Good. It is a registered maintained under Ramsar Convention. Ramsar Convention तो मालूम है, wetlands की है Ramsar Convention. Under that, there is this Montreux. Montreux, it's a place in Switzerland. Montreux record or register, it maintains certain specifically important biodiversity-wise importance wetlands. India has 2 wetlands under this Montreux record. Which are the 2? Loktak. Loktak is in Manipur. Good. And second is Keoladeo, Rajasthan. India has 2 sites under this Montreux record or register. Ramsar sites, all Ramsar sites are not part of this. India has, I think, about 26 Ramsar sites. Fine, all are not part of this. These are important ones. ये इसके अंदर है. Earlier, Pulicat Lake was also there. It is no more a part. Chilka. Yes, Chilka was there earlier. It is no more a part. Okay, next. Alternative to BT cotton. BT cotton, I hope all of you know, बहुत पुराना सवाल हो चुका है. Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria क्या क्या करता है? I think all of you know it. Why do we need an alternative? Two points. One is, the most important point is monopoly. There is only one company, Monsanto, which is providing this technology, and there is only one company, Maheko, which is distributing the seeds. Maheko is Maharashtra Farmers Cooperative something, I don't remember the full form. Maheko, and Monsanto is American company. Okay? It is the only company which is manufacturing these BT seeds, and Maheko is the only company which is distributing these BT seeds. So there is complete control over cotton production by these 2 companies. In order to break this monopoly, we are looking for alternatives to BT cotton. This is the primary reason. Other reason is more as in opposition to GM crops. What is the drawback of using GM crops? Economically, ecologically.
It can destroy the natural species like the evolution.
See, white fly attack, मालूम है ना आपको? White fly attack हुआ था पंजाब में. Why? What was the major reason? Monoculture species. Monoculture. If the population of any species does not have great variety, does not have great wild variety, it is susceptible to more attacks. अगर उसका जीन पूल छोटा है, जीन पूल मीन्स जहाँ से भी उसके ऑफस्प्रिंग्स में जीन्स आ रहे हैं. एक रिजर्वॉयर है, मान लो कोई इमेजिनरी रिजर्वॉयर बहुत बड़ा, जिसके अंदर सारे जीन्स प्रेजेंट है फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज. कॉटन का जीन पूल मान लो, दैट मीन्स genes of all the cotton species present. The offsprings would get their genes from that gene pool only. If that gene pool shrinks, the number of genes available to offsprings would be less. If the parent gene pool shrinks, the number of genes available to the offsprings would be less. Since the genes available are less in number, therefore they become more susceptible to attacks. जितनी ज़्यादा बायोडाइवर्सिटी होगी, वी आर मोर रेजिलियंट. जितनी कम होगी, वी आर लेस रेजिलियंट. सो if any species has vulnerability to any particular thing, like this bollworm attack in case of whitefly attack में जो था ना, bollworm was the culprit this time, whitefly attack में. So cotton crop did not have resistance to that bollworm. Therefore, entire cotton crop was damaged. दिस इज द मेन रीजन वाई GM क्रॉप्स आर अपोज्ड. बायोडाइवर्सिटी, वाइल्ड वराइटीज खत्म करके वी आर प्रमोटिंग ओनली मोनोकल्चर of GM crops, which is less, the gene pool which it has access to is less, therefore it is less resilient. ये main reason है GM crops की opposition का. Fine. DMH11 क्या है? DMH11 mustard, GM mustard. It was also in news. DMH11. It is the variety of mustard, GM variety of mustard, which is the body which gives permission to conduct field trials. Which is the body which gives permission? GEAC, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. It is under Ministry of Environment. अंडर एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट EPA 1986 के तहत इसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया गया. ठीक है, दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इन फैक्ट. इफ यू आर फेमिलियर विद कन्वेंशन ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी, CBD की कन्वेंशन के अंतर्गत हमने वी इनैक्टेड एन एक्ट, नेशनल बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्ट इन 2002. This is not under CBD's Act. This is not under National Biodiversity Act. This is GEAC. It was constituted under Environment Protection Act. Important point है. GEAC was constituted under EPA. It is under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Fine. This is the body that gives permission. Current status of GM crops. Only cotton is there. Current status of research. No field trials are allowed. No field trials are allowed in India currently. ठीक है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट put a moratorium on field trials after 2013. Okay, let's come to this CarbFix project. CarbFix, this is important. CarbFix, carbon sequestration. Carbon sequestration is basically sequestering carbon from atmosphere, depositing it in some sink. Take carbon dioxide from atmosphere, deposit it in some sink. What is a sink? Something from where, a place from where nothing comes out. Sink. ये कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन है, और कार्बन फिक्सेशन भी बोल सकते हैं इसको, कभी जो बोलना चाहो बोल दो. सिंपल. How do we sequester carbon? Sequester, take carbon dioxide from atmosphere, deposit it somewhere. ये carbon sequestration है. How do we sequester it? There is a natural process. There is a natural carbon cycle that goes on. Natural process of carbon sequestration that goes on. It goes on a geological time scale. क्या होता है? See, all those silicates and minerals, जो भी volcanic lava निकलता है, all those have magnesium and calcium silicates. All those rocks are made of magnesium and calcium silicates. जो भी lava निकलता है ना, basaltic rocks, andesitic, granitic, जो भी निकलता है, all those are made of basically silicates. Silicates of calcium and magnesium. What happens is, when these silicates react with water, in presence of CO2. When these silicates react with water in presence of CO2, they form carbonate ions. जो भी रिएक्शन होती है, whatever silicates are there, SiO2 plus CO2 plus H2O, इसमें कार्बोनेट आयंस बनते हैं. in this reaction carbonate ions are formed. Carbonate, this CO3 2 minus. ठीक है. These carbonate ions, पहली बात तो ये वाटर कहाँ से आया और ये CO2 कहाँ से आई. As I told you, this is a natural process. Natural, इसमें कुछ हमने नहीं किया है. Natural process. This water is basically river water or rain water. Whenever these silicates erupt or whenever new rocks surface on the ground, whenever they come in contact with water, ये तो natural water. This CO2, this is atmospheric dissolved CO2. Dissolved CO2, atmospheric CO2 in water. This is that CO2. ठीक है, कोई डाउट तो नहीं है इसमें. ये एक नेचुरल स्केल पे हम बात कर रहे हैं, नेचुरल जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल पे. दैट मीन दिस इज टेकिंग प्लेस ओवर मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स. ये कोई रिएक्शन ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरे टाइम चल रही है आपको दिख रही है. दिस इज टेकिंग प्लेस ओवर मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर. दिस इज ऑन जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल. नेचुरल प्रोसेस है ये अभी तक. ठीक है. These carbonate ions are formed. What happens? These carbonate ions, this was in water, groundwater or river water, they find their way to oceans. These carbonate ions, they find their way to oceans. ठीक है. When they go to oceans, they are utilized by shell forming organisms. These carbonate ions, they are utilized by these shell forming organisms. जितने भी mollusks होते हैं, कई सारे जितने भी ocean organisms हैं, most of them make shells. So these carbonate ions are utilized there. When these organisms die, what happens? When these organisms die, they are trapped. They fall down on the ocean floor. And once they fall down, they are trapped there forever. When these shell-forming organisms die, they fall onto the ocean floor. They are trapped there forever. Therefore, atmospheric carbon dioxide is now trapped in the oceans. ठीक है, कोई डाउट है इसमें अभी तक? एटमॉस्फेरिक CO2 इज ट्रैप्ड. ये एक नेचुरल प्रोसेस है, इसमें कोई डाउट है अभी तक? दिस लुक्स वेरी नॉन प्लॉजिबल बट दिस इज द एक्सप्लेनेशन विच हैज़ बीन गिवन. नेचुरल टाइम स्केल के ऊपर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ऐसे ओशंस के अंदर जाती है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑब्वियसली फाइटोप्लैंक्टन जो फोटोसिंथेसिस करते हैं, बायोमास प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, उन फाइटोप्लैंक्टन को खाते हैं. दैट इज द सेपरेट प्रोसेस. दिस इज द नेचुरल प्रोसेस ऑफ टेकिंग इन एटमॉस्फेरिक कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. व्हाट हैपेंड इन दिस कार्बफिक्स प्रोजेक्ट? कार्बफिक्स प्रोजेक्ट में क्या हुआ था? एक यहाँ पे टर्म लिखा होगा, एनहांस्ड वेदरिंग. सी इफ देयर इज दिस टर्म, एनहांस्ड वेदरिंग. What is it में सेकेंड पॉइंट में लास्ट टू वर्ड्स, enhanced weathering. In enhanced weathering, what you are doing is you are increasing the surface area. Increase the surface area for reaction. जो भी रॉक्स प्रोड्यूस हुई थी, वट एवर रॉक्स वर प्रोड्यूस्ड, यू क्रश दोज रॉक्स. वंस यू क्रश दोज रॉक्स, द सरफेस एरिया increases. The area which comes into contact with water and carbon dioxide, that area will increase. Earlier, only the surface of rock was in contact. Now, because of weathering, enhanced weathering, all these small, this has been crushed into small pieces. Now the surface area of a very large surface area is in contact with water and carbon dioxide now. Therefore, rate of this reaction will increase. ठीक है. This was what was done in this CarbFix project. Enhanced weathering. Enhanced weathering पूछ सकते हैं. What is enhanced weathering? What is CarbFix project? ठीक है. वन लाइन क्वेश्चन और स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन इस टाइप से पूछा जा सकता है। क्लियर है? कारफिक्स प्रोजेक्ट में कुछ नहीं किया, बस यहाँ पे जो नेचुरल रॉक होती थी, नेचुरल रॉक की बजाय क्रश्ड रॉक प्लेस कर दी। दे प्लेस्ड इट इन आइसलैंड एंड they observed after 10 or 25 years the amount of carbon dioxide really decreased, amount of carbon dioxide fixed. Fine? Any doubt? ये जो साइकिल है इसके 5 पॉइंट आप चाहो तो लिख सकते हो. दिस इज आई थिंक नॉट मेंशन्ड हियर. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज rocks, silicates of calcium and magnesium. Crushing of those pieces, crushing of rocks to increase the surface area. Second is coming into contact of those rocks with carbonated water. Carbonated water, carbon dioxide from atmosphere and water from rivers or rainfall, wherever there is dissolved carbon dioxide. Third is formation of carbonate ions. Fourth is flowing of those carbonate ions in oceans. Utilization of those carbonate ions by shell forming organisms, and death, finally, death of those organisms and deposition in the ocean floor. Fixing of carbon dioxide. ठीक है? Any doubt? कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लो यार. Okay. See, carbon sequestration. This is a very big topic of geoengineering. It is part of that. देखो geoengineering में दो techniques होती हैं basically. One is you remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. One of the ways is this. Another way of removing carbon dioxide is you dissolve calcium in ocean water directly. जो यहाँ पे आप calcium डाल रहे थे, you dissolve this calcium directly in ocean water. What happens is that calcium will utilize carbon dioxide which is present, form carbonate ion, same process. Those carbonate ions will be utilized. This is another method which has been given. Direct यहाँ पे calcium डालने का, number 3 step में. Adding calcium directly here. But this is not a plausible method. Why? Because the amount of calcium which is required to really make a difference in carbon dioxide concentration, this comes out to be mining 1 ton of mining 1 ton of limestone per person per day. पूरी दुनिया में सबको 1 टन limestone रोज माइन करना पड़ेगा, तब there would be some substantive reduction in CO2. तो इसलिए दैट इज़ अ वाहियात तरीका, ये वाला तरीका जो कैल्शियम डालने वाला है. दिस हैपन्स ऑन अ नेचुरल स्केल, सो वाई नॉट इंक्रीज दिस रेट. दिस इज़ अ बेटर वे दैन दिस. सेकेंड वे इज, पहला तो ये था कि जो है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कम करनी, हाउ टू डिक्रीज द अमाउंट ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इन द एटमोसफेयर. सेकेंड मेथड टू प्रिवेंट ग्लोबल वार्मिंग इज you stop the sunlight from coming to earth. Stop the sunlight from coming to earth. It looks more vahiyat, but it is not as much. How do you do that? See, how much sunlight is incident on per unit area? 240 watt per meter square. 240, ये याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है यार, ऐसे में मतलब ये फिगर सही है बट आपको याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. This much sunlight is incident per meter square. What is the global warming or radiative forcing, global warming potential or radiative forcing of carbon dioxide? It is almost 1.7 watt per meter square. That means CO2 causes 1.7 watt per meter square of heating. Sunlight is causing 240 watts per meter square of heating. CO2 is causing only this much. This is less than 1%. In fact, about 0.5%. So if we are able to reduce only 0.5% of CO2, we'll get the desired impact. If we are able to reduce 0.5% of sunlight from coming to the earth, इसका 0.5% कितना होता है यार? 1% कितना है इसका? 2.4 का आधा कितना होता है? 1.2. तो अगर हम 0.5% ऑफ सनलाइट को रोक सकते हैं, if we are able to stop only 0.5% of sunlight, we'll get almost same impact as reducing equivalent amount of carbon dioxide. How do you do that? Best way is make more clouds. More clouds. Clouds can be made upper stratosphere में बना सकते हैं, और major heat sink oceans के ऊपर बना सकते हैं. You form clouds by spraying aerosols. एरोसोल्स बताया था ना अभी अर्बन हीट आइलैंड्स में, एरोसोल्स क्लाउड फॉर्मिंग पार्टिकल्स, क्लाउड कंडेंसेशन न्यूक्लियाई प्रोवाइड करते हैं. एरोसोल्स फैसिलिटेट इन फॉर्मेशन ऑफ क्लाउड्स. इफ यू स्प्रे एरोसोल्स ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ ओशंस, और इफ यू somehow facilitate formation of clouds in the upper stratosphere, therefore you will be able to reach this target. You can reach this target, formation of clouds से. So this is another geoengineering technique. ठीक है. These are, huh? Yes, of course. See, this carb fix process is important because this is mostly natural. We are just enhancing, even not very much, the natural rate. बाकी जितने भी processes हैं, totally man-made, there are unintended consequences which we do not know. That is why all these geoengineering, जैसे sunlight को रोकना या फिर calcium drop करना oceans के अंदर, these are not practiced as of now. This process, this is natural, just enhancing the natural rate. So we know that ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है इससे. So this is more plausible process, ecologically sustainable process. Fine? Any doubt? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. स्पेस कोलैबोरेशन टू टैकल क्लाइमेट चेंज. कुछ नहीं है यार, स्पेस कोलैबोरेट कर लिया किसी ना किसी के साथ, क्लाइमेट चेंज करना. देयर इज नथिंग. मोर डेटा टू मेक बेटर मॉडल्स. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर. क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर ज़्यादा इसमें कुछ नहीं है. क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर में सी 3 important aspects in climate smart agriculture. Number 1 is addressing the food security. By 2050, the amount of food requirement would increase exponentially. Number 1. Number 2, as more and more people come out of poverty, food habits will change, more demand for pulses, more demand for more protein rich food, more demand for milk and all those things. ठीक है. Therefore, qualitative aspect of food requirement will also increase. तो क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर में 3 चीज़ एड्रेस करते हैं. नंबर 1, फूड इनसिक्योरिटी और फूड सिक्योरिटी. नंबर 2, impact of climate on agriculture. Impact of climate on agriculture because of rising temperatures, because of global warming, what will be the impact on productivity? We are addressing this. And third is impact of agriculture on climate change. Impact of agriculture on climate change. 3 चीज़ें हैं: food security, impact of climate change on agriculture, and impact of agriculture on climate change. Agriculture accounts for about 11% of total global warming. And if you take into account land use change means like reclamation of forests. Agriculture करने के लिए if you reclaim forests or reclaim wetlands, if you account for those things also, then it is about 25%. Agriculture amounts for total 25% of global warming. ठीक है. So substantially large impact. So if we are able to control these things, इसको climate smart agriculture बोलते हैं. Practicing agriculture to address these 3 aspects. ठीक है. It is not a universal approach. Every region has different climate, has different cultural habits, has different agricultural practices. Therefore, every region will have its different climate smart agriculture. ठीक है. Climate smart agriculture of Punjab is going to be different than दोनों. पंजाब में भी राइस उगा रहे हैं और वेस्ट बंगाल में भी राइस उगा रहे हैं. But climate smart feature in both the cases would be different. ठीक है. In Punjab probably more emphasis would be given on less utilization of water. Less utilization of water is not a problem in Bengal. The impact, there the focus might be on more productivity. Productivity कैसे बढ़ाएं. ठीक है. This is climate smart agriculture. Okay, next. हाँ, क्या वो कोई कुछ बोल रहा था? हाँ, टोटल एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस इंप्रूव करनी है, ठीक है. एग्रीकल्चर को क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट बनाना है. एंड इन प्रोसेस ऑफ मेकिंग इट क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट वी शुड नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन फूड सिक्योरिटी. ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट. रिव्यू ऑफ नेशनल फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी. इसमें कुछ नहीं है ज़्यादा यार. फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी 1988 में आई थी, उसका रिव्यू कर रहे हैं. क्वेश्चन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इज वेयर इज दिस इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट मैनेजमेंट लोकेटेड. इससे ज़्यादा क्या पूछेंगे. नेशनल फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी 1988, इट मैंडेट्स 33% of the geographical area should be under 33% of geographical area of the country should be under forest and tree cover. Forest and tree cover difference है दोनों चीज़ों में. Forest and tree. Forest cover is what is the definition of forest cover? More than 10% canopy. लिख लो. More than 10% canopy and more than 1 hectare of area. Two conditions should be satisfied to be designated a particular area as forest cover. More than 10% canopy and more than 1 hectare area, that is forest cover. Less than that, it is considered as scrub. यहाँ पे 10% से कम canopy होती है, it is considered as scrub. Not counted as part of forest or tree cover. Tree cover is a continuous patch of trees. Continuous patch of trees like roadside plantations. Highway पे जो plantation होती है, that is tree cover. The total area may be less than 1 hectare, but since that is a continuous patch of trees, it is considered as tree cover. Question that can be asked: tea plantations are included under forest cover or not? Tea plantations. बताओ. हाँ, कंटिन्यूस ही है यार. टी प्लांटेशन मोर देन 1 हेक्टेयर एरिया सबकी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. इट इज़ इंक्लूडेड अंडर फॉरेस्ट कवर. टी प्लांटेशन, एनी कॉमर्शियल प्लांटेशन, एवरीथिंग इज इंक्लूडेड. प्राइवेट लैंड, गवर्नमेंट लैंड, एवरीथिंग इज इंक्लूडेड. केवल ये 2 कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होनी चाहिए. मोर देन 10% कैनोपी एंड मोर देन 1 हेक्टेयर एरिया. Yes. Forest. In fact, forest cover is only a definition of forest survey. There is no other place which utilizes this forest cover, forest survey, and because of that, this national forest policy. Administrative classification is forest area. Administrative denomination is forest area. A notified area, anybody can, not anybody, the concerned authority. When the concerned authority notifies a particular area as forest area, it becomes forest area. It need not follow those conditions. ठीक है. Lakshadweep has 0% forest area. Why? Because nobody has notified. They have not notified it because Lakshadweep's economy is based on tourism. तो वहाँ पे कुछ अगर forest notify कर देंगे तो it comes with its ifs and buts. इसलिए नहीं करता क्या? नहीं किया. ठीक है. One more reason is Lakshadweep, despite being covered 90% by forests, forest cover is also 0%. Because no patch is greater than 1 hectare. ठीक है? Fine? Yes, forest and tree cover. कहाँ लिखा है? अरे और में यार, और इज अ ब्रॉडर सेट. चाहे फॉरेस्ट कवर से करो चाहे ट्री कवर से करो. एंड का मतलब यार भावना में बह गए आप. फॉरेस्ट एंड ट्री कवर मीन फॉरेस्ट एज वेल एज ट्री. फॉरेस्ट और मीन्स फॉरेस्ट और ट्री. दिट इज करेक्ट. ऐसा कुछ गलत नहीं है. कैंपा बिल इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. In fact, now it has been passed. ठीक है. Yesterday it was passed. Campa is extremely important. कैंपा पढ़ लेना एक बार. इसमें क्या कैंपा वॉज सेटअप बाय Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave an order to set up CAMPA. So till now it is not a statutory body. When the act comes into force, when the president signs it and notifies the act, then it will become a statutory body. Abhi tak it is only an executive body. It came into existence because of Supreme Court order. What is the reason? What is the purpose of establishing CAMPA? What was the purpose? Okay, I give you a statement. CAMPA undertakes afforestation activities. CAMPA is responsible for afforestation activities, right or wrong? Wrong. CAMPA does not undertake afforestation. CAMPA is only for fund management, compensatory afforestation fund management. Okay? But since the states were not undertaking afforestation activities, CAMPA was asked by the government to undertake afforestation activities. उसका purpose नहीं है afforestation activities undertake करना, but it has undertaken in the past. What is the process of this afforestation? See, if any industry, any individual has to take any forested land, they'll have to pay two costs. One is this economic cost of land, whatever is the cost, plus there is a net present value. नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ये इकोलॉजिकल कॉस्ट होती है. ये इकोनॉमिक कॉस्ट तो जो भी लैंड की कॉस्ट है, ट्रीज की कॉस्ट है, वो सब ठीक है. दिस नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, दिस इज द इकोलॉजिकल कॉस्ट. वैल्यूएशन ऑफ इकोलॉजिकल सर्विसेज विच दैट पर्टिकुलर फॉरेस्ट इज प्रोवाइडिंग राइट नाउ एंड विल कंटिन्यू टू प्रोवाइड इन फ्यूचर. सी, इफ यू undertake deforestation and you undertake simultaneously afforestation somewhere else, afforestation is going to take some 15, 20, 30 years to regenerate forest in that land. So for those 30 years, whatever the present value that forest was providing, that is missing. जो भी forest का deforestation किया है, वो भी present value, whatever it was providing, that will not be made available for next 30 years or so, because the afforestation land is still growing. Forest in that land is still growing. Therefore, we calculate this net present value, multiply it with whatever number of years we want to. जो भी उसकी nitty gritty I don't know. तो ये दोनों costs देनी पड़ती हैं सबको. This funding, this goes to the state government. State government gives it to central government, CAMPA. Then CAMPA decides to distribute these funds. CAMPA will distribute these funds based on requirement of afforestation. Afforestation is undertaken only on non-forest land. Non-forest land 1:1 ratio में, जितना एरिया आपने लिया है उतना एरिया आपको afforestation पे, उतने एरिया पे afforestation करनी है. 1:1 ratio. If somehow non-forest land is not available, then you have to do it in the ratio of 2:1 on scrubs, degraded forest land. If somehow non-forest land is not available, then you have to undertake in the ratio of 2:1. आपने 10 हेक्टेयर एरिया लिया था, 20 हेक्टेयर एरिया पे फॉरेस्टेशन करना होगा ऑन स्क्रब्स. ठीक है. There was one more authority which was set up, E-Green Watch. E-Green Watch authority, it was set up to monitor afforestation activities. CAMPA was set up to monitor for disbursement of funds. E-Green Watch was set up again by Supreme Court order to monitor afforestation progress. ठीक है. CAMPA बिल के प्रोविजंस प्लीज रीड. आज सब न्यूज़पेपर्स में आए होंगे, ठीक है, तो पढ़ लेना आज घर जाके. आई डोंट नीड टू रिपीट ऑल दोस थिंग्स. ऑपोजिशन क्या क्या था CAMPA बिल के ऊपर, दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऑपोजिशन क्या क्या था. Funds of CAMPA can be utilized for afforestation activities, for rehabilitation activities or not. Rehabilitation में use कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. Academic expenditure use कर सकते हैं. Bureaucratic expenditure, ये सब कुछ सब जगह use कर सकते हैं. Afforestation में करना ही है, बाकी सब जगह भी कर सकते हैं. Rehabilitation के लिए भी use कर सकते हैं CAMPA funds. ठीक है. This was one of the opposition demands. अदर ऑपोजिशन डिमांड्स आपको मालूम ही है. फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट डाइल्यूट करने वाली जो थी, ठीक है. फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट कैसे बीच में आ गई थी इसमें. wherever afforestation activity, where will afforestation activity take place? If some tribes are residing in those regions, they'll have to be displaced, वो सब. So their rights might be compromised because of this afforestation. ये सब बातें थी फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट वाली. पढ़ लेना आज सब न्यूज़पेपर में, आई एम श्योर आया होगा. फाइन, आज नहीं तो कल आ जाएगा. ओके. शैलेश नायक कमेटी रिपोर्ट. Again, yeah, this is coastal regulation zone, not very important. Shailesh Naik committee. Coastal regulation zone. Purpose of CRZ, I hope you know. Protection of coastal area, number one. Also protection of livelihood of fishermen. Protection of livelihood of fishermen is also an important objective of notification of this CRZ. Okay? So fishing activities are not regulated there. Fishing activities are completely allowed in CRZ. ठीक है, दिस ऑप्शन कैन बी फ्रेम्ड. नाम से ऐसा लगता है CRZ में कोई एक्टिविटी अलाउड नहीं होगी. फिशिंग एक्टिविटीज 100% अलाउड. ओके, नेक्स्ट दिस पोपलर ट्रीज इन कश्मीर. पोपलर ट्रीज प्लांटेशन, आई होप यू माइट हैव सीन इट. दिल्ली से बाहर निकलोगे तो कई जगह दिख जाएंगी कॉमर्शियल प्लांटेशन ऑफ पोपलर ट्रीज. तो ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. J&K High Court has said that you have to fell all those poplar trees because of some infection in the cotton produced. Not so important. Okay, next, paleo channel. Paleo channel, as the name suggests, paleo means old, channel means wherever the river was flowing. Old channel. A certain river was flowing in some area, now that river channel is dry. River is no more. उसको पैलियो चैनल बोलते हैं, ओल्ड चैनल. You might have heard of that stream capture phenomena. Stream capturing. Like this is a region where some stream is flowing. यहाँ पे ज़्यादा slope है, यहाँ पे कम slope है. A stream is flowing here, a stream is flowing here. This will continue to do headward erosion. Headward means पीछे की तरफ. Headward means पीछे की तरफ जाती रहेगी. Suppose there was some tributary which was of flowing into this river. जब ये पीछे पीछे जाती रहेगी, it will finally reach here and it will capture this tributary. ठीक है? Once it captures this channel will become dry. Once this stream is captured into this stream, this channel will become dry or not? ठीक है ना? ये ड्राई हो जाएगा तो दिस बिकम्स एन ओल्ड चैनल. जो यहाँ पे सेडिमेंट्स थे वो सब यहीं रह जाएंगे. जो ओरिजिनल सेडिमेंट्स यहाँ पे थे, इसका आगे जितना भी कोर्स था वो सारे सेडिमेंट्स वहीं रह जाएंगे अब. दिस इज पैलियो चैनल, ओल्ड चैनल. वाई इज इट इम्पॉर्टेंट? इम्पॉर्टेंट बिकॉज ऑफ हाइड्रोलॉजी. हाइड्रोलॉजी. These paleo channels are good aquifers. These paleo channels are good aquifers. Aquifer means यहाँ पे पानी स्टोर होता है. Charging of groundwater. These are good aquifers because sediments यहाँ पे जो loose sediments थे, they have settled here. ठीक है? So there is one program, Central Groundwater Board. It is putting some emphasis on studying all these paleo channels. Hydrological importance है. Next is to study any movements, past movements of earth. See, this was just one example. Headward erosion से जो stream capture हुई थी, this was just one example. If the slope changes abruptly, अगर ये slope abruptly ऐसे change हो जाती तो ये river तब भी यहाँ आ जाती. Abruptly because of earthquake or because of any fault movement, किसी भी वजह से तब भी आ जाती. So this is also, these paleo channels also important in studying of past earth movements. ठीक है? Okay, next, efficient and sustainable city bus service project. This is in collaboration with World Bank. First 2 points are important here. It is in collaboration with World Bank. Global Environment Facility is funding this, and IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This is the implementing agency. Global Environment Facility, it is one of the oldest environmental fund. It was set up in 95. Global Environment Facility. Okay, next, Eurasian otter. I don't know why is it mentioned, it is not so important. Eurasian otter. It is one of the rarest mammals in India because, as the name suggests, it is not found in India, it is found in Eurasia. It is not very rare in Eurasia, quite abundant there. India mein it is rare. Eurasian otter. There is one American otter also that is not even threatened, abundantly found in America. इंडिया में पाया नहीं जाता इसलिए इंडिया में रेयर है, ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं. ड्राफ्ट विंड सोलर हाइब्रिड पॉलिसी. क्वेश्चन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इज, ये इससे ज़्यादा नहीं पूछेंगे, ड्राफ्ट विंड सोलर हाइब्रिड पॉलिसी से नहीं पूछेंगे. क्वेश्चन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इज problems in renewable sources of energy or problems in these non-conventional sources of energy. What is the most important problem? Most important. Economic cost is not the problem anymore. The per unit cost of solar electricity has come down to about 4 rupees per unit now. Economic cost is no longer the most important problem. Most important problem is fluctuation. Fluctuation in output. Grid connectivity. Grid connectivity. See, grid cannot handle जो भी whatever grid, national level grid, they cannot handle large fluctuation in power generation, in power input to the grid. They cannot handle large fluctuations. आज जैसे सूरज नहीं निकला है, अभी पिछले 5-6 दिन से नहीं निकल रहा है और आगे भी 5-6 दिन तक नहीं निकलेगा. Therefore solar output is almost zero these days. A grid cannot tolerate. And 1 month back, when there was no rainfall, it was functioning at more than 100% of its efficiency. Solar plants producing about 4,000 megawatts of electricity then. And now they are producing 0 watts. So the grid cannot handle such large fluctuations. This is the most important reason why integration of these non-conventional energies has not taken place as yet in India. Most important reason, grid connectivity, failure of grid because of fluctuation. Similar is the case with wind also. आज बह रही है, कल नहीं बह रही है, ठीक है. In Germany, they have achieved almost 60 to 70% of their power mix through renewable sources. How? No, that's not this. See, it is because they have very advanced forecasting methods. They can forecast up to local level per day. Local level per day. So, how much electricity would be produced by the solar power plant functioning in a particular area tomorrow? They know it in advance. Since they know it in advance, they can switch to other sources like nuclear. If they know tomorrow solar is not going to be produced, they will switch to nuclear. Therefore, grid will not witness fluctuations. Grid के अंदर input solar से भी जा सकता है, nuclear से भी जा सकता है. Grid will not witness large fluctuations because of that. ठीक है? Another reason इसके अंदर दिया हुआ है, land cost. Requirement of land is very high. Solar power panels install करने के लिए land requirement is very high. Wind install करने के लिए land requirement is very high. So this hybrid policy, what it will do is दोनों एक ही जगह कर सकते हैं, wind and solar. Land cost कम हो जाएगी. Fine. Last year UPSC asked a question. इसमें दिया हुआ क्या? इसमें दिया नहीं. Last year means में question था solar के ऊपर. Cost of solar energy is coming down. इस टाइप से question था last year. What is the output of what is the energy mix of India? लिख लो चलो. 70% is thermal. 70% is from thermal. Out of that 70%, 60 is from coal. About 9 is from gas. and 1 is from oil. Thermal से इतना है 70%. 69 1, 60 from coal, about 9 from gas and 1 from oil. About 15%, 14.4% is from renewable sources. 14.4 is from renewable sources. Renewable include solar, wind, biomass, and small hydro. Small hydro means up to 25 megawatts. Tidal वगैरह से नहीं होती है. That is not included. कहीं जनरेट नहीं होती है वो सब. That they are all only experimental projects. ठीक है. This is for the first time, in fact, that output from renewables has exceeded hydropower. Hydropower is about 14%. 14.2% hydropower है. ठीक है. This is for the first time that it has exceeded hydropower. Renewable का output is more than hydro this time. Question can be asked, arrange the following sources in order of their contribution to India's electric power mix or power capacity, power generation. ठीक है. बचा हुआ 2% is from nuclear. Fine. चलो last topic, this culling of animals, extremely important. Declaration of vermin. I hope you know which animals were declared vermin. Which is the body which declares animals as vermin? Huh? National Wildlife Board. Huh? No. National Wildlife Board does not declare these animals as vermin. It is central government and Ministry of Environment and Forest that declares any animal as vermin. Under Wildlife Act. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 जो थी, it mentions certain schedules. I think there are 5. 6. Oh, okay. 6 is for plants. Okay. See, in Schedule 1, the most protected species like endangered species like tiger, crocodile, elephant, all those species are mentioned here. Schedule 1 में. These cannot be declared as vermin. These cannot be declared as vermin. जो बाकी स्केड्यूल में है 2, 3, 4 में इनको डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं और वर्मिन डिक्लेयर करके स्केड्यूल 5 में डाल देते हैं. स्केड्यूल 5 इज फॉर वर्मिन एनिमल्स. डिक्लेयर करके स्केड्यूल 5 में डाल सकते हैं. लाइक नील गाय, इट वॉज देयर इन स्केड्यूल 2, पुट इन स्केड्यूल 5, डिक्लेयर्ड एज वर्मिन. फाइन. बाकी आपको पता है ये वर्मिन डिक्लेयर करने से क्या होता है. 1 साल तक मार सकते हैं, आपके ऊपर कोई सजा वजह नहीं होगी. ये सब चीज़ें हैं. ठीक है. एलिफेंट, वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट gave a request for declaring elephant as vermin. Central government said no, it is part of Schedule 1, it cannot be declared as vermin. Elephant is not a vermin animal. Fine. Chalo. Any other doubt which you want to ask in environment ecology? Any doubt?
Aerosol,
हाँ.
AGI, such type of chemicals.
AGI? AGI क्या होता है?
Aerosol is for
Aerosol, any particle in air, solid as well as liquid. Any particle. नाम इसका aerosol solid से है, air and solid से है, not necessarily solid. Any particle, solid or liquid in air, that is aerosol. Particulate matter जो PM 2.5, PM 10 जो बोलते हैं, all that is aerosol. Important component of aerosol is black carbon. Black carbon soot. Black carbon is an important component.
what animal has been declared as vermin registered, like race monkey in the
लिखा था उसमें नील गाय इन बिहार, रेसस मंकी इन हिमाचल, वाइल्ड बोर इन उत्तराखंड. लिखा था उसमें. नो एनवायरमेंट कहाँ लिखा है यार, क्या बात कर रहा हूँ. पेज नंबर क्या है? अच्छा पढ़ो तो सही. State government were given permission to declare. The state government ask the environment ministry gives them the permission that you declare these animals as men. Permission is given by environment ministry. State government, state wildlife board, state boards will finally declare them.
Final authority will be of MOA.
Final authority is them, central government. ठीक है? Any other doubt? चलो, thank you.